Britain backs Murray for Wimbledon glory. Murray Mania will reach fever pitch today as the nation pins its hopes on the Scot becoming the first British men's Wimbledon singles champion in 76 years. Also this evening, communities count cost of flooding, world's tallest Lego tower built in Windsor, and how life has changed in the 76 years since a British man won Wimbledon. Good evening. Murray Mania will reach fever pitch today as the nation pins its hopes on the Scot becoming the first British men's Wimbledon singles champion in 76 years. Andy Murray is hoping to join compatriot Johnny Marray in the history books after the 31-year-old became the first Briton to win the Wimbledon's men's doubles in the same period of time yesterday. The 25-year-old, the first Briton to reach the men's singles final in 74 years, is hoping to fill Fred Perry's shoes by lifting the winner's trophy. Murray practiced at SW19 on Saturday with coach Evian Levdy, hitting with a fellow Brit Ollie Golding in preparation for the final. As he rested ahead against his crunch game, his mum Judy Murray revealed that he was presented with a good luck gift for her son as she launched near his Surrey home. She tweeted a picture of an eaten mess dessert at the Old Bird pub in Cobham, Surrey, later adding another picture of a silver tennis ball presented to her by jewellers Gordon Marks. Britain's Fed Cup captain, who regularly posts updates on Twitter, wrote, "Quiet lunch at pub in Cobham, plus this gift from local jeweller Gordon Marks, silver salt and pepper tennis ball, too kind." She described the pudding as a stress buster and athlete fodder. The gift is a salt and pepper condiment set shaped as a tennis ball, revealed Mark Reed, owner of the jewellers. The Scot's mother is said to have told a barman at the pub that Murray is feeling good. Ben Bullman, assistant manager of the pub just a few miles down from Murray's house in Oxshott, reportedly said, "I asked how Andy was and she said, he's feeling good, going into the match. She looked happy and confident. She doesn't look worried." Murray said he needs to find the perfect performance against Federer, who is looking to equal Pete Sampras's record of 7 Wimbledon titles. It will be the third time Murray and Federer have met in the finals of Grand Slams, with the Swiss triumphing at US Open in 2008 and Melbourne in 2010, both times in straight sets. The Scot will be hoping to emulate Johnny Murray and Danish partner Freddie Nielsen, who took the men's doubles title, beating Robert Lenst and Horotaku 4-6, 6-4, 7-6, 6-7, 6-3 in the final. It makes Murray the first Briton to win the event in 76 years, the same feat Andy Murray is hoping to achieve in his men's singles final. Wimbledon wildcards Murray and his partner were presented with their trophies by Duke of Kent on centre court. Murray, 31, who previously revealed he had dreamt of playing on centre court since watching Tim Henman 11 years ago, said, "We can't believe it, obviously. It's tough to sink in. I don't know what to say." Of his history-making victory, he said, "What a great honour that is, people giving me these statistics. I just want to cherish every moment out there." Serena Williams won her 5th women's Wimbledon title yesterday, beating Poland's Agnieszka Radwanska 6-1, 5-7, 6-2 in the final. The women were watched in the royal box by showbiz couple Michael Sheen and Rachel McAdams, as well as the comedians Michael McIntyre, Paul Tompkinson and Miranda Hart. Also in the box was British tennis star Virginia Wade, who lifted the trophy in 1977, and fellow former women's champion Martina Navratilova and Jana Natona. An emotional Williams, who made a comeback after suffering a series of setbacks, climbed into the players' box after the match to thank her family and friends. Around 17 million people are set to tune in to watch the men's final, with the All England club expected to be full to capacity. Famous faces due to attend include tennis fan the Duchess of Cambridge, who will be making her second visit to this year's championships. The demand for tickets has soared, with online ticket marketplace Viagogo saying the average ticket price sale has jumped from £3,000 to £4,000 to an average of £5,000 to £6,000. The site saw a 395% surge in the traffic overnight for searches for men's finals tickets after Murray booked himself a place in the final, and at one point a pair of tickets were listed on the site for today for £32,000. Murray has admitted he will be the underdog at centre court. Flood-hit communities across the UK are counting the cost of torrential downpours that left homes under water and one man dead. The worst of the weather, in which a month's worth of rain pelted parts of the country in just 24 hours, is now thought to be over. But forecasters say that rain will continue to fall in heavy bursts across the whole country for at least another week. Devon was worst hit yesterday, as 3 severe flood warnings were issued, while a man was killed in Northumberland when his car crashed off a rain-soaked road. Environment Secretary Caroline Spelman is due to visit the Met Office in Exeter today for a briefing. A severe flood warning from the Environment Agency remains in place for Axminster in Devon, around the River Axe, and there are also 41 flood warnings and 133 flood alerts. The west of England will receive some respite from the weather today. Welcome relief for flooded communities in the southwest. But the bad weather is set to continue throughout the week, as an area of low pressure moving in from the west brings showers and longer spells of rain. Billy Payne, a forecaster for Meteo Group, the Weather Division and Press Association, said the worst of the showers today are going to be across East Anglia, Lincolnshire and the southeast, with longer spells of rain mixed in there as well. There will also be outbreaks of rain for northern and western Scotland and Northern Ireland as well. After more than 2 inches of rain fell in just 18 hours in Devon yesterday, the Environment Agency put parts of the rivers Yelm, Axe and Burton on the highest grade flood warning, meaning they pose a danger to life. Residents and emergency services in Yelm Bridge, Devon, were left with a huge clean-up operation after homes were overwhelmed with up to 6 feet of water when the Yelm burst through sandbags and put in place and a bid to bolster its flood defences. Muddy water marks streets across houses, and tarmac on one of the roads in the small hamlet was ripped up by the weight of the water that cascaded down the road. Firefighters and teams from the Environment Agency were on the scene pumping water from around the white, semi-detached houses. Terrified villagers spoke of waking up to torrents of water raging through the streets. 14-year-old Maya Leach described floods of water coming down the lane. She said, "By the time we got half the stuff upstairs, the water was already up to our necks and past our heads." Water flowed over car roofs and roost, the fridge was knocked over and the furniture had been moved around. My little brother was scared and I had a friend sleeping over and we were both just traumatized. We couldn't go downstairs, she added. In nearby Yelmton, around 40 homes and 75 residents on one side of the river were affected as water gushed into houses. The river reached a record high of 7.5 feet, the Environment Agency said. Villager Tony Stern said he had not seen anything like the flooding in 26 years. We were fairly fortunate as we are actually a bit raised up here, so luckily we were within about 6 inches of the house actually getting flooded, but the water level was tremendously up, the 61-year-old retail business manager said. It's normally only about 18 inches deep at this time of year. Some residents were evacuated and were being sheltered in a local rescue centre, while others chose to stay in their homes. Elsewhere, residents in the Leicestershire village of Sheepy Mangna were evacuated from their homes after flooding. The road crash victim in Northumberland, who was in his early 20s, was pronounced dead at the scene of the collision in East Tynesdale, Northumberland, at 12:25 a.m. And 2 people stranded on top of their car at the River Brid in Dorset were rescued by Coast Guard rescue teams as a man stranded in his wheelchair in water at Burton Brackstock, also Dorset. Brendan Jones, a forecaster with Meteor Group, the weather division of the Press Association, said the summer has seen a colossal amount of rain, and the last 24 hours have been no exception. He said the Duke's Well in Devon has had 2 inches, 53 millimetres of rain between 6 p.m. on Friday and midday yesterday, while Exeter saw 1.7 inches, 43 millimetres in the same time frame. Turning to the coming week and beyond, he said there is some good news. The next couple of days aren't going to be as bad as the last couple of days. The heavy rain in the south at the moment is going to pass overnight. There will be some sunshine and showers for just about the whole country. The showers will be heavy and there will be the occasional odd thunderstorms as well. The Environment Agency said there were no parts of England and Wales with a high or medium risk of flooding today, with the most regions at low risk. On Monday, England and Wales were put at a very low risk. The outlook is not looking summery until mid-July at the earliest, according to the Meteor Group forecaster. We are fairly confident that what the weather is going to do in the next 7 to 10 days, Mr. Jones said. I don't think that the showers on Tuesday are going to be as heavy as they are on Sunday and Monday. But on Thursday, Friday and possibly into the weekend we are just going to see the return of the heavy showers. Not in the next 10 days is there anything resembling reasonable summer conditions. The world's tallest structure made from Lego has been built in Windsor this morning. The record-breaking tower reaches 32 metres and 16 centimetres. The actual building began on Tuesday, July the 3rd and was finished and measured this morning. Hundreds of volunteers used more than 500,000 Lego bricks to complete the tower, made entirely of 160 to 20 centimetre Lego bricks, which were gradually hoisted into place from the tower. The new tower beats the record set in Seoul, South Korea in May to beat the record Legoland Windsor had to create a structure more than 31.9 metres high. Legoland Windsor announced on their Facebook page that the new tower was taller than any other in the world. And finally, turning to the main story, and Andy Murray is preparing for the biggest match of his life as he bids to become the first British man to win a Wimbledon singles title for 76 years today. Here is a look at how some things have changed during this time. In 1936, Stanley Baldwin was Prime Minister and David Cameron was yet to be born. Prince of Wales Edward VIII became king in 1936 after George V died. Queen Elizabeth had been head of state for 60 years since her accession in 1952. And Jarrow marchers passed through Leicester on their way to protest in London over unemployment in 1936. Cunard White Star Line Royal Mail ship Queen Mary leaves Southampton on her maiden voyage to New York, USA in 1936. That's it from me. I'll be back at 5 to 10. Until then, do enjoy your evening. Goodbye.